Hey guys, it's Tony from Logan back with another video for you, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that's appeared on the internet recently and it's going to be available in stores very soon, but it's replacement cables for Corsair AX series power supplies, so the AX650, 750, 850 and 1200, but also the HX series, so the HX650, 750, 850 and 1050. Now, you can buy from a lot of different brands extension cables, which, if this is your original cable, basically the extension cables clip onto the end and they obviously make your cables a lot longer, but then you have the individual braided cables come out of this, so you can still see your normal braided cables coming out of your power supply. And I'll kind of show you this here. Basically, you've got your power supply in the bottom of your case or wherever it is in your case, and you'd still see this. And I've been saying for a long time, in fact some of the aftermarket extension cable companies, I even said they needed to start producing them for, you know, direct replacements for the power supply. Well, it seems people at Corsair have been listening to us, because you can now buy direct replacement kits for your power supply, and they come and they look exactly like the pack of cables that you'd get with your actual replacement, with your original unit, and they do several different colours. Basically at the moment the colours that I'm aware of are blue, red, white and black, but they may be releasing extra colours at a later date. Now what I'm going to do is I've actually got three different sets. I've got these blue ones for an AX1200 watt. Then I've also got, because I've got two AX1200 watts, another set that are white, and then I've also got, because I've got quite a few of the smaller AX power supplies, a set which fit AX650, 750 and 850. Basically the AX1200 watts are different sets of cables, and they've also got more in there, but then I've also got the ones for the smaller ones as well. So we're going to be taking a look at these today. Basically the blue ones are going to end up on my bench rig. The AX1200 watt in white are going to be going in a rig in the not too distant future, which you'll see appear, and these white ones are actually going to end up in my Orca rig, which is my 2011 system, which is going to be coming up very soon. So that's why I've got quite so many of them, but let's take a look. So I'm going to move those out of the way for the second. I'll try and move them right the way out of the camera so it doesn't bug you too much. But we'll take a look at these blue ones for the AX1200 watt. And like I said, they are a direct replacement. You get every cable in here that you would have done originally with your power supply. Now the original cables, we'll just have a look quickly. This is just one that I've just grabbed to hand. The braid on them is pretty good. They've got all black cables. The heat shrink's done and it's nice and tidy. Like I said, they're some of the better original cables. So that's just to give you an idea of what they're like originally. Before anyone asks, because I normally get flooded in the comments of these, at the moment Corsair are only selling these as an upgrade. So you'll have your original cables, and you can then buy the blue and the red ones or whatever ones that you want extra on top. Now one thing I will say is, if the prices I'm seeing online are kind of like $70 to $100. Now, for the amount of cables that you get, what you've got to bear in mind is that's actually not too bad a deal. If you bought every single one of these cables as an aftermarket cable, you'd pay an awful lot of money. And the good thing is, like I said, they're all direct replacements, so you've not got that extra cable to hide. And you know that they're going to, do you know what I mean? You're going to be able to have a nice tidy rig. You're getting everything that you could possibly need, more than really if you want. And also you're going to have these blue individual cables going right to your power supply, and obviously you don't have to braid them yourself. So it's complete win in my eyes, but we'll cover these anyway. Let me find the 24 pin, which is here. It's the big beefy one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the camera in a little bit. Right, there we go. Now I've obviously got a lot of light on these, so they're looking, mind you, my camera screen is terrible, but I'm going to undo these and let's have a look. Like I said, they're direct replacement, so this end obviously goes into your power supply. Now they are braided, But the thing that I've noticed, if you look really, really carefully on some of the braid, through some of the braid, you can actually see writing on the cables underneath. So what they've done is they've used a very, very similar colour cable. So therefore, these are all blue cables, but then with a blue braid over the top as well. Now, basically, what I'm thinking is I don't know whether the cable's actually been made with the braid on it, because I'm not able to, you know, when you braid your own cables, you can sometimes push it and fray it. These don't seem like that at all. So I think the cables are actually made like this, rather than put over the top. The heat shrink, I'm supposing that is just so the ends don't fray. Being really nitpicky, one thing I will say is on some of them, the braid isn't the same length. As you can see on this one, that one's slightly longer, that one's slightly shorter. That's a really anal way of putting it, and I know that some of the models out there literally do them so that they're millimetre perfect. Once it's in your rig, I'm not sure that you're really going to notice too much, but it's something to bring up. The braid isn't a cloth braid, as we found with that I like. There's one of the aftermarket brands I really, really like, and that's one of the extension cables, and that's like a cloth, kind of almost like a paracord braid. This is a plasticky kind of nylon braid. It's actually quite shiny as well, and when you rub them together they feel quite coarse, but the quality is definitely there. The cables are quite stiff, so when you put them in your rig you're going to have to you know, straighten them out and stuff, but it's definitely there. So what I'm going to do is we'll have a look. I'm trying to do this, I've got my hand through the tripod. We'll have a look at one of the SATAs. Keep forgetting that I need to keep it on the camera, so I need to look up as well as undoing at the same time. So we'll have a look at these, the SATA power. Now obviously, like I said, just go straight into your power supply, so it's really nice and easy. No having to mess about and undo the braid and everything yourself. And not being funny, these cables are actually better than some of the like original power supply cables that I've seen. Many power supply cables I've seen go into the first SATA power connector, and then they come out and it's bare braid. Enemax are terrible for doing that a lot of the time. But these are actually really good, and actually there, if you have a look, alright, let me get this on camera. Come on camera, please, stop focusing on the table. Right, there we go. If you have a look, you can see that you've got blue cable there. Basically, past the heat shrink, you can see the blue. So that does prove that it's there is like a blue cable underneath the braid. But like I said, I'd hazard a guess at the fact that this braid isn't actually... Oh no, this one, if I do it really hard, is spraying a little bit, but really not a lot. The braid is literally perfect for the size of the cable. But they are very, very tidy. And I mean very, very tidy. I'm quite impressed with the way these look. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly grab... We've got an AX power supply here. And then I've got a set of the AX cables. So what I'm going to do is just show you what they look like in the power supply as well. So we've got the cable here. So we put that one in there like that. It's a nice snug fit as well, so you always know when it's there in your rig. Don't want none of this baggy cable stuff. If we put that one in there like that, that one popped in straight away. There you can see that it's going to look great in your rig, and it goes right to the bottom. And where the AX series power supplies are fully modular, every single one of the cables that you're going to get for it is going to come out looking like this. So it will literally look like you've spent like a whole weekend, if not longer, braiding your cables. Now, one thing I will say with the white ones, I'm not sure whether the camera is going to have any chance of picking up it this close, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, I know it's not in perfect focus, but if I put my finger there, if you have a look, you can see the writing on the cable. So it's a white cable on this one, but it's then got the black writing over the top. I wish they'd not have got the cable that had been written on, so it was just plain white, but that's just it. If anything, it makes it look slightly dirty, but you really can't notice it from a distance. It's only really when you come right up close to it that you can see it. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to fit out my bench system with the blue cables, and I'm going to be fitting out my future rig with white cables on the AX1200 watt. And then the AX I've got here, it'll either be the AX850 or the AX750, I'm not sure which one I'm going to use it, will be going in my Orca rig. So you are going to see these cables in a full system at a later date. I've sadly not got time to get them in the rig right at this moment to be able to show them in, but to be perfectly frank, you all know what it's going to look like when you've got a set in your system. You don't need to see it specifically in mine. But just to point out the pluses for these style cables, like I said, it goes right to the end, so you've got no extensions. With the extensions, you normally get an extra 30 centimetres at least of cable to hide behind your motherboard tray, so it can make cable tidying an absolute mission. Also, it means that you don't have the braided individual braids coming out of your power supply, so you've still got the normal cables in there, do you know what I mean, if you look for it. Also, what you've got to bear in mind is if you buy aftermarket cables, if you were to buy a full set like you get with these Corsair ones, it would end up costing you an arm and a leg. I've priced them up in the UK. If you were to buy everything, you're looking at over 150 quid. Now, yeah, okay, if you just buy a 24 pin, your PCI Express and the 8 pin for the motherboard tray, then fair enough, it might work out a little bit cheaper. But then, like I said, you've not got them going right to your power supply, you've got all those cables to hide, and to be perfectly honest with you, the main bulk of the cables in your rig is when they come out of your power supplies. I honestly think this is a brilliant idea. I spoke to one of the aftermarket companies when they first released their cloth braided cables, and said to them back then, if you made a range of these for the Corsair AX series fully modulars, and I think there's another PSU brand that does fully modular power supplies as well, if you'd made cables for those, you would be onto an absolute winner, because I would have fallen over myself to have gone and got them. So the fact that Corsair have been the first company to come to the table with these, it's absolutely brilliant. I honestly think that this is the best thing for power supplies since they went, I won't say modular, but maybe fully modular. The fact that you can actually get these now is absolutely awesome. So yes, it's going to cost you a few quid extra on the top of your power supply, but so would have extensions. And to be perfectly honest with you, like I said, the fact that they go right to the end is just complete win. With the HX series, you're still going to have a plain 24 pin, which I'm not 100% on, but the AX series, where they're fully modular, to be perfectly honest with you guys, I love these power supplies anyway, and they're one of the things that I've always shouted really loud about. But now that you can get these and customise your power supply in with your rig, and you don't have to do any work, you just have to buy them, I honestly think that these are probably one of the best, options power supply wise for modders on the planet. So just to let you know, you can get AX650, an AX750, an AX850 and an AX1200 watt. This 650 will do you for a single graphics card, easy, every single graphics card. So even like a 7970 or a 580, you'll be able to get away with a 650. 750 watt, you're talking a pair of like 7950s, maybe a 580 if you're running a big power system with stupendous overclocks and stuff like that. The AX850, you're talking again, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like high-end systems, and I mean mega high-end systems. The jump up to the AX1250, you're really talking multiple card situations like 3 or 4 even, do you know what I mean? You can get 3 easily, it'll power. 4, you might have a problem with connectors and stuff, but literally massive power draws. And I've never really found a system that needed much more than 1200 watts, to be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, we know that 4 graphics cards are just a pain in the bum anyway, and it's not really what you want to be doing for a like a normal gaming rig. But yeah, honestly, they've got it all covered, to be perfectly honest with you. And yeah, they're, like I said, they do just look the kahunas. So apologies for not showing you them in a rig, but they will be going in a system very soon. I will show you the bench rig is actually being used at the moment, which is why I can't get it sorted for this video. And the white ones are also going to be going in a couple of other rigs at a later date. So go and have a look at the Corsair website. They will be hitting the shops very soon. I know they are coming to the UK, and they're going to be getting scattered around the States and all around the world very soon. So keep your eyeballs open. If they put them on pre-order at the shops, I would honestly jump all over them, because I can see, we all know that these are popular power supplies. And to be perfectly honest with you, if I had one of these, I would be pre-ordering them to make sure that I got them when they first come out, because I think you're going to be seeing a lot of these in a lot of modded rigs and stuff over the next 6 months. I think these are going to be immensely popular. I reckon they're onto a mega winner. But anyway, I've talked enough. This is Tiny Tom Logan, failing to put a cable in the bag. This is Tiny Tom Logan with another video review for you. Out.